Delays aside and aggravations aside, we're here, we're doing it, we're going. Let's get this over with, shall we? Let's finish this. So last time, we were a much more recent relative who had destroyed the necropolis below the house, which was apparently a nest for Zelatoth guardians. Now, we found out during the cutscene afterwards that there are many nests like that, so getting rid of that didn't really solve anything. I have left you a small surprise to keep you going when everything seems to go awry. It was my favorite tipple, and there are several barrels of it in the basement. Please help yourself to what you can find. My guess is you won't be that I won't be needing it. Your grandfather, Edward. That is most likely a supply of liquid courage that he's talking about. Down in the basement. Which I have to assume is now open to us. You know, when I go through the right door eventually. Now, we have already been down here once. As Alex. We did a couple things, but we hadn't done everything we could do, presumably. Well, we know for a fact there's one thing we need to do that we didn't do. Specifically, we need to get a stethoscope to get into that safe. Ooh, that'll be useful. Okay, it's not a weapon, though. It can only be used. Pickaxe for demolishing walls, too cumbersome to be used as a weapon. It might come in handy somewhere else. Ah! I know exactly where to use that. Going upstairs. I've got a fake wall to destroy. Which, admittedly, for what that little fake section of wall is made of, this pickaxe is probably overkill. But it'll get the job done on a treat, that's for sure. Crashy smashy. Ah, now we're back as Max for a moment. When he starts killing all of his servants. Because he thinks all of them are bone thieves now, presumably. In the depths of his madness. I presume that's what gets him into the asylum. The fact that he goes on a bit of a murder spree. Okay, there's a Turga barrier there. There's still a mess from that happening. Because presumably no one's been in here since then. No, let's just knock that barrier out and move on with our lives then, shall we? So we don't have to stay in this room any longer than we have to. It's only a 3-point barrier, but I'll hit it with a 5 just to make sure it goes down. An antique stethoscope, seemingly accidentally dropped into the pile of ash, glints brightly in the light of the room. Yeah, sure, retrieve that. And the note. Nestled on a bed of ash are the remains of 3 people. Was this the duty that Maximilian had hinted at? that he suspected that his servants were not human. But there are 4 clearly occupied beds and only 3 skulls. What happened to the 4th? Now that's the real question. Where did the 4th servant go? Because we did see only 3 men die, I believe. Because he shot 2 and stabbed the 3rd. So 1 was already gone. And presumably that is the one that reported Maximilian's, well, crime. As I contemplated these ideas, my suspicions of my servants grew, and I became increasingly fearful of them. I began to watch them carefully. Days ago, I watched one of them stretch his neck. I could have sworn I saw it twist in a most peculiar direction, and a bulge of muscle tissues collect and grow in the most incorrect of manners, as if a bone was being displaced from its proper location and something else was moving in its place. I stumbled away, knowing that I was surrounded by unholy creatures that wore the skins of mortal men and women. I had to take action. Dear God, let my hand be swift and merciful, lest the world see more of these diabolic creatures. There's a trapper about, I hear it. So, if I can hear it, I can probably just hit it with magic from here. So let's just kill it before it sees us. Yep, no more trapper. Or was it you that I heard? It would make sense if I was hearing bone thieves, and I may have just mistaken them for trappers. They do both make really weird noises. And she is by no means anywhere near the fighter the others have been. She's never had a reason to really fight anything, so that's not too much of a shock. It is going to make getting through this section more complicated, though. So I'm willing to bet that the finale is going to involve her doing things, so I don't want to waste my equipment if I can help it. I have a very strong suspicion I'm going to need every bit of ammunition I can keep hold of. Wow, there's a lot of zombies suddenly. Sanity's going down the toilet. Walls are starting to get banged on. I probably need to use the stethoscope first, don't I? No, it doesn't have a use prompt, okay. I must just have enabled the prompt to interact with the safe. I'm probably gonna need to pay attention. I missed it. Somewhere around 60. There we go. As the safe door hinges open, its contents are revealed. Many important items left behind by Edward lie on the shelves inside. Should Alex collect the items? Yes. We now have the essence of Chaturga, a crankshaft for all that stuff upstairs, another letter from Edward, her grandfather, and the chapter page Ashes to Ashes.
A storm approaches, Augustus. A storm of metal and fire. And a torrent of souls along with it. Young and vibrant.
Yes, I have seen it coming. A worthy sacrifice, I am sure, and one that will allow the greater guardian that resides below to finish its channeling. With this sacrifice of souls I make unto thee, Great One, the gate shall be ready to be opened, and your freedom shall be at hand.
Okay. So that's not a good sign. It must be the page. Yeah, the page is making noises at me.
Wherever disaster and death lurk, there is likely to be an ancient just beyond our senses, waiting. They prey on our misfortune and exploit it toward their own twisted ends. When hundreds of oil fields are set ablaze on the heels of war, the ancient's grip tightens, knowing that lives will be forfeit and resources squandered. But a few people make a difference. People like Michael Edwards, a Canadian industrial firefighter hired to put an end to the insanity at the end of the war. Ironically for him, the insanity was just beginning.
Considering we're going back to the Middle East, I would assume we're going to end up back in that temple again. Which means we may yet have a chance to send a trapper in to go get that thing.
It's hotter than hell here. I'm getting a little nervous about this one. It feels more out of control than the others. More powerful. I don't know how else to describe it.
This is the safest way to blow out these things. You've done this enough to know that. It's by the numbers. It's all good. Just relax.
The silicone cloth and the water spray are there, so you're probably right. We've got 500 pounds of 80% nitroglycerin-grade dynamite all in place. We're good to go.
Edward, you can pull your team back now. Get your team to a safe distance and we'll try to kill the fire.
Sure thing. Coming back now.
We're getting a pressure increase at the well cap. It's gonna tear itself apart. Hurry! Get your team out of...
Too late. And there goes the helicopter, too. With it, the only way out of here right now, probably. And there's the Pillar of the Dead.
What the hell happened? They're all dead. McCormick, Patterson, all gone. Looks like they've been buried alive under tons of concrete.
Wow.
Take this. Guard it well. Many have perished for it. Take it. Take it to the ruins of Engal. At the ruins, a gathering of light.
You You want me to take this to some ruins under a house in Rhode Island?
Take it. Save us.
Sensing the danger, Mike protects his hands from the insidious magic by using his coat to carefully pick the artifact up from the debris-strewn floor. We now have the essence of Ilioth, and the ruby effigy comes along for the ride again, and the sapphire. Okay. Now, there's one thing that doesn't sit quite right with me about how this played out, though. How did we end up in this hole from that blast? We were not near this when it went off. So we should not have been thrown into the hole. My best assumption would be we were knocked unconscious in the blast and something dragged everybody down here. Now, we're gonna have to be real careful, because our firefighter friend here does not seem to have a lot of sanity to work with. So, this is gonna be dangerous. This axe is a wonderful weapon, and he's a hell of a fighter so far, so we've got that going for us at least. But we are gonna have to stay on top of fights real well, otherwise we're gonna be in trouble. Especially while we make our way to getting the Book of Eternal Darkness. The desiccated corpse lies sprawled on the temple floor, dressed in desert combat fatigues. A rifle, pistol, and a variety of ammunition lay about him. The soldier appears to have gone down fighting. Should he collect the weapons? Yeah. Though this makes me very suspicious of what we're getting into when the game just hands me a rifle and a pistol and some grenades right off the top. The hell do they think I'm going to be fighting? Oh, they think I'm going to be fighting that. That tracks. Well, Mike, I hope you know how to use this thing reasonably. Summon a fresh one, that's fine. Open up. Open up so that you may be smoked. Could you open up, please? Thank you. Did you really miss at that range? Well, there's always the old-fashioned way. Okay, you know what? Heck with this. I'm gonna operate under the logic of I probably don't need to fight that thing. Didn't want to waste the bullets on you. I wanted to shoot the trapper, but it's not gonna let me target the trapper because of the way the game works. Now, go to him first, then. Now will you let me target it? Yes. Good. Our sanity is in the toilet, though. And we have no means of fixing that. Oh, fuck me. We are gonna be in trouble here. For once, I am looking forward to having the Tome of Eternal Darkness, because we are going to goddamn need it. In hindsight, I actually probably should have let that trapper take me so I could have gone to the trapper dimension and healed my sanity that way. But reflexes are too damn fast sometimes. Okay, this one seems relatively safe so far. There's a model of the ruins of Engar. Looks like a scale replica of the area. The model is made of clay and seems brittle. Some of the buildings appear to have been coated in a reflective glaze. So it's not Enga, it's here. Huh. I guess they just happen to have very similar designs. Which I suppose tracks, all things considered. Oh, quit your belly aching. You'll be fine. I'm gonna save in a separate... No, I'll just accept my fate. We'll probably be fine. I was gonna say I'll save in a separate spot because of the fact that we already lost so much sanity, but I think we'll be okay. Worst case, we just load our way to victory. Which I know, not the best way to go about it, but it's the way we've got available right now. And I will say, prodding with an axe, not the worst idea someone's ever had, because it'll at least give spacing, but you ain't gonna do a lot of damage that way, that's for sure. Okay. That staff probably is only for a puzzle, because with how bent and battered it is, yeah. It is a mix option, though, so it's probably meant to be combined with something. A long staff made from hardwood. Its finish, once clean and resplendent, is now dented and cracked. One end of the staff is merely bare wood, indicating that something was once attached to the end. Okay. I know, let's stick the flashlight on it. Super extendo flashlight, go! Yeah, no, that wouldn't be of any use to anyone at all. So, it looks like we're gonna have to either fight or avoid that big boy that's up there. Which is a problem. Because the rifle was having minimal effect on it, the axe had no effect on it. Etc. from there. Gold amulet. Doesn't really look like an amulet to me, but, you know. Good day, gentlemen. Hello, sir. It's a good thing this man can fight reasonably well with this axe, or we would be in trouble right now. It just goes to show this is why a good old fire axe is real handy in situations like this, because it'll just rip right through problems. What? Oh, those were hallucinations. They wasted my damn time. We need to get away from here. We need to get away from that thing right now. Let him fight the Mantarok zombie while we get the hell out of there. Oh. Huh. Well, that's a problem. Okay, we now have a full staff. Inset with a lens! Fuck, we need to go back. Remember, we saw that light in that one room, and parts of the city were inset with a reflective glaze. We need to send the light through that city. Ideally before we go mad. Though it's not looking like we're gonna avoid going mad at this point. So we'll just have to make do on that one. And just hope the game doesn't fuck with me too much in the process of us getting this done. Because this is almost certainly what we do. Now we do a light puzzle. Okay. Yep, as expected. Knock it around through a series of mirrors, and then open the panels that way. It looks like we're stuck with it sitting there, so hopefully it doesn't hurt me. Nope, okay. So used to things like the big Resident Evil light puzzle in 5, where you end up cooking yourself if you step into the damn sunlight. Yep. Tome of Eternal Darkness time. And you'll notice... Wait. Oh, right, that's Bianchi. Edward Roivas is, of course, our last statue here. We're out of space for statues, though. So where is our friend Mike gonna end up? One way or the other. Let's get out of here before that screaming gets too incessant. Now we can fix our deteriorated sanity. Through means that if he thought about it too much, he'd probably just go back to being insane all over again. And it would appear that the regeneration effects are percentage-based, because that's definitely not as much meter as it would restore on other people. But now that we have the tome once again, let's save the game. So that we don't have to deal with the screaming room again. On the bright side, this also means we can now put up a shield. I should have enough juice for a decent shield. Or not. Which, admittedly, most of our threat in here so far has been to sanity. So a shield's not really going to protect our sanity. But it'll handle the rest of our problems, which we're inevitably going to have. So it can't hurt to have the shield up anyway. What I might have actually wanted to do was do a magic pool of sanity for Mike to keep him in check, considering his sanity is so low. Still not going to waste my time dealing with these guys, though. There is no point in fighting them. As far as we'd rather Mike to think, those things aren't real. There's the barrier, okay. Found it with my face, but that's fine. And now we found the Green Effigy, which looks an awful lot like Pius Augustus. So it's probably just meant to be a centurion, but it definitely has his look. Worms. Bad worms. You know, for all that they popped up in a cutscene, you'd really think they would have been more dangerous than whack them once with the axe and they go away. Oh boy. Speaking of more dangerous than worms. Yes, Chaturga zombie. Take care of my problems. Goodbye. Good luck. Oh, this is not ideal. This is an anti-magic area down here, I think. That's why it's blue. Oh, that's not good. Brain. That one. No trappers allowed. I could take the time to shoot them, but that would risk me getting actually caught by the trappers. Looks like we can only go this way. God damn it, Mike. Aim where I tell you, not where you think is a good idea. Strange obelisk made from a dark granite-like material. It appears to be blocking the way forward, but the obelisk appears to be impervious to all damage. So it's got the Antec rune on it. What does that mean? Is it expecting me to summon a horror to move it? That would make a degree of sense, because a horror is going to be a lot stronger than I am. But then again, it only has a 3-point thing on it, so maybe I'm overdoing it by a lot. Like, I would fully accept the fact that I'm wasting a lot of magic doing this. Yeah, no, I think I'm barking up the wrong tree by me doing this. So let's have him wander off into the next room and see if he can get into a fight with some stuff to give us some problems later. Because we can't dismiss him, so we have a problem. So I've now summoned something that will cause me a lot of issues if I don't get rid of it. So let's send it off back to where we saw enemies and let it get killed. Hey, buddy. The way I look at it, he's either gonna win or die. If he wins, great. If he dies, he dies. Oh, this is certainly an awkward exchange. Maybe if I hit him with a shock attack, it'll work. Oh, there we go. Oh, I ran out of magic or sanity, one or the other, so it released him one way or the other. So that's gonna be a bit of a problem. Because we now desperately need to get some magic back in order to fix our non-existent sanity, or we're going to be in for a spot of bother. That's a little better. I just wanted to not be at 0 so we can not deal with the worst results, potentially. We should have enough, actually, to do a better one. Yeah. There we go. Mike here doesn't have the most sanity, so it's not like it's a big problem to get it fixed. It's just going to be a bigger problem, considering we're just going to lose it all again anyway. So, I think I actually know what I'm supposed to do with that, and I misinterpreted it for a second, which led to summoning a horror instead of the thing we should be summoning. Because it's indestructible. So, the only way to deal with that problem is to remove it from the equation. So, what we're going to try is we're going to use a trapper to try to teleport that block out of this reality. Which is what I should have done in the first place, but my brain went smash before brain actually fully kicked in on that concept. Which is not really a surprise to anyone, probably. Yep. Trapper can target it, so poof, gone. Presumably, you are intended to just take the hint of there being the Antac rune there and go, oh, yeah, I probably should just move this out of the way using a trapper since it's got the three-pointed power circle there. The bas-relief depicts a proud warrior. The image is very strong, dominating this part of the room. Below the design, a small ledge protrudes from the wall as if waiting for something. So, this room's red, but the image looks an awful lot like the Emerald Effigy. So we kind of have a 50-50 on this one, but I'm gonna go with the fact that it's a red room. Yep, that's what I was afraid of. Mistakes are punished. I logicked myself into a hole on that one. I fully accept the fact that I fucked that up. I probably need to keep those grenades for something else, but for right now, that's gonna have to do. Because in this small space, that thing was going to ruin us. So what we actually do probably is put the ruby effigy in the red spot. Or did I put the ruby effigy there? The bas-relief depicts a female scholar. Her authoritative glare dominates this part of the room. Below the design, a small ledge protrudes. Let's look at all of these before we commit to anything else. Sorcerer casting a spell. There's an error of authority. Okay. Interesting. So the colors are a lie. That's what that tells me. That's probably better than wasting all my grenades on these. So that's interesting. So my initial logic might have been correct. Yeah. You match image to image, not model. I mean, not color, rather. That means these must be wrong, then. No? Those don't really match, but okay. Because this doesn't look like a sorcerer to me. I mean, the head matches, but the rest of that doesn't seem quite right. Oh. Another layer to that just hit me, I think. No, never mind. I was gonna say, I think they are being placed in front of their opposition, but no. Because then, if it was placed in front of their opposition, then red should be over here, because it opposes... This Chaturga opposes Zelatoth. But I think I was overthinking it again, as I do. We should get our shields back up. Okay, we've now got a Chaturga Enchanted Gladius, which is interesting. It was also calling our name, or at the very least something was calling our name when we got to it. But I think the axe is probably still going to be a more effective weapon, so we're going to hang on to that. The Gladius is probably just for puzzle solving. Nope. Probably still don't want to go that way. Question becomes, where in here did we need the Gladius? It's clearly not meant to be in here, because there's nothing indicating we need it here. What's down here again? A place I don't think we've been, because there's trappers here. And now there isn't. What a mess. Ah, yeah, we definitely haven't been down here. We found the bind spell scroll. Yet again, back in the place where I was like, I'm gonna be able to get rid of that stupid Book of Eternal Darkness, and then we weren't allowed to. Oh, that doesn't look great. So now we have every spell scroll. This magic enables the caster to bind a creature with magic, forcing it to ally with them. Ah! Okay. Okay. That would actually be really useful. That also explains why the creature we cast that on last stopped attacking us. Bankorok and air attack. Ah, okay. Protect creature. Right, that makes sense. I don't think it's gonna work with only 3 points, but we'll try it. Oh, yeah. No, he did not stay under control at all, so we probably need to upgrade this before it'll do its job. Bankorok. Air attack. Power gun, power gun, power gun. There we go. And just for consistency's sake. Fire gun. Power attack. Bang. There we go. Yeah, I figured I didn't have enough magic for that. But I wanted to try. Just hang loose, boys. We'll get to you in a minute. How much magic do I even have? Okay, I have just about full. I should have enough now. The only other question will be, am I doing it right by trying to use the same alignment as the thing I want to take control of? Nope. Looks like we're gonna have to use an opposing alignment. Okay. I expected as much, but it also logically made sense to more or less target the spell by using the alignment of the thing you wanted to take control of. So I flipped the coin, and the coin landed on its side on that one. It seemed like a worthwhile attempt, at the very least. There we go. Now they'll fight, and that'll open the barrier, I presume. That one was already injured enough that we can just finish the job. Nice and clean. Block of explosives. Neat. Why are we blowing up the bridge? Why am I listening to the spooky deep voice in my head? I mean, I'm gonna do it for lack of better ideas, but I'm kind of curious why we immediately think listening to this spooky voice in our head's a good idea. Also, it would help immensely if I had done this part today as Beyond Sheep, because I don't entirely remember the path to that room. Because that was the worm room that we ended up blasting the innocent man in. I remember that much. So I remember that at least I believe I remember which room it is. Except I don't see it on this list of rooms, which is interesting. I also forget what color is what floor. Because, you know, God forbid they mark which floor is which. That is a bit of a problem. So since Y is up, this must be the top floor. Which means this is the bottom floor. So we'll figure it out. We'll get there. We'll get there somehow. We just came up the stairs, so it's not there. Is it this way? Because it was at the other end of the Forgotten Corridor that we found the worm room. I remember that it's on the other end of the Forgotten Corridor. I just do not remember where the Forgotten Corridor is anymore. I remember we had to get the key for that room. Yeah, down the stairs was only the Enchanted Gladius, which we still have not used for something as well. Though... Oh yeah, we can't even use this. Ah. This gladius carries a powerful enchantment. This unique weapon can only be wielded by its destined owner, the Guardian of Light. Well, that explains that. So I need these explosives for some... Oh, wait. I have two opposing thoughts with that. Because a memory just hit me. Didn't there used to be a door here? An innocuous paneled wall caps this end of the room. It is conspicuously empty by comparison to the other walls of the room. So what the hell? I need a detonator, and we don't have a detonator, though. That's more than likely what I need this for. Okay. So we need to find a detonator, I presume. And it's certainly possible I missed the detonator somewhere, since we had to flee from problems in a couple places. I think we came down that ladder to get in here. Yep, this doesn't go anywhere. Nope, nothing useful in here. These are fake. This is where the worms came out of. Ah, there's more to this room. Okay. That explains why we didn't find the detonator yet. Detonator is presumably over here somewhere. Go, no more trappers. Huh. That's not the path we took to get there, though. So that's odd. Unless they flipped the camera when we came back out of that hole? But I also don't remember the spears that are in the middle of this room, nor do I remember there being a pair of Zolototh horrors. So I'm now quite confused. Yeah, because that's where we picked up the Green Effigy. Huh. Something's not adding up here. Also, I'm just dealing with messages. Just give me a moment. Something's not adding up here. We've got this ladder here, which is where we just came from. Where the enemies are. Which is blatantly how we got into the situation we're in. Yeah, because that's where that room is. But, what confuses me is the fact that this appears to lead us back around rather than to somewhere new. And that doesn't add up. So either they reused a room, or I'm very gravely misunderstanding something here. No, because this is definitely that hallway again. Did I just, like, blank out a spot for a minute and my brain is fucking with me? Because that has to be the case. Because we would have had to have gone through that room to get there. But we had to get the Emerald Effigy first before seeing the worms, so that pathing doesn't make sense. Because we definitely picked up the Emerald Effigy and then saw the worms. This is the hatch that opened when we did the light puzzle. So where the hell is this detonator? Did I just, like, miss it somewhere? Is considering there's a limited quantity of grenades, they can't be expecting me to use one of them as a detonator, because otherwise you could lock yourself out of that and you'd be stuck. So that doesn't seem too likely. So my only remaining theory is that I just blatantly missed something along the way. That's where we found the amulet. We already grabbed something from here, judging from the fact that I can't do anything with that. It's a bit unfortunate that I'm gonna have to basically track back through this whole place again to make sure I didn't miss it somewhere. But, you know, that's just how this goes. Also, can I just say that it's really unfortunate that we've managed to end up in a position where we have to walk back through the whole place again in the same place. Huh. So that loops. And that's why I'm confused by that, is because it loops and I did not realize that it loops in on itself. Okay. That at least makes sense. So where the hell is the detonator? Yes, yes, zap zap, bang bang, spooky. You two are just having a great time. Where is this detonator? Because thankfully with our shields up, nothing's really that much of a threat to us, so we can kind of just book it through and find it, but where the hell would it be? Because we're running out of rooms to check. So the only remaining theories I've got is I'm blind and I just missed it literally right in front of my face somewhere. Or we missed a room, or I'm missing some logic here in that I have the detonator in my inventory and I'm not realizing that's what it is. So I already tried the dumb idea of using the flashlight as a detonator. So that was about the only random object I could think of that they would expect me to combine with the explosives to use as a detonator. It's the only thing we found so far that doesn't have a use. Which I suppose it's... yeah, it's just meant to light things up. Wait. Is there something dark I missed because I wasn't using the flashlight? Is that the whole key to the situation? That might be the problem, is the fact that I didn't have the flashlight on. Not that we needed it anywhere in this place so far, which is the other odd one. But maybe there's something that we don't get an interact prompt unless we have the flashlight on. That is not what I clicked on at all, but okay. Is for some reason when I was trying to pull my browser back up, I somehow ended up opening Steam, which is a fascinating mistake to somehow make. I'm just going to quickly pull back up that walkthrough I had yesterday and just quickly get to this section, check to see where the hell this detonator is to save us running all over the goddamn map 7 times. Since we've already gone in a couple laps around this place. Right. It's very entertaining to me that how often this guide's like, use the grenade or the gun. Why not just smack everything with the axe? The axe was working just fine. Ah. Okay. That makes sense. So I've been barking up the wrong tree this whole time. There is not a detonator in any of the areas we can currently get to. I have been thinking the wrong way in terms of how to get past that door, which in hindsight, I'm kicking myself because of course we don't use the detonator to get through the goddamn door. You want to know why we don't use the detonator to get through the door? Because we need the detonator to destroy the room the voice told us to destroy. I'm an idiot. Ignore everything I'm saying. I was just barking up the wrong tree the whole damn time. Because I completely blanked on the fact that we have a goddamn reveal invisible spell. I was in the right place the whole time, just using the wrong logic. And there's the detonator caps. God damn it. Yes, I'm aware of what to destroy a video game. So let's refresh our shield before we try to cross that, because I remember it got close when we were Roberto every time we passed it. So a full power shield should give us some breathing space on the other side. So Mike does move a lot faster than Roberto ever did. So, I suppose it's not as big a problem. And there's the room we need to bomb. More worms, who are, for some reason, very susceptible to axe to face. So I don't even know why this was ever a problem. Is yet again the guide was like, oh hey, you should just use the gun to deal with the worms. A good burst or two will get rid of all of them. It's like, but you can just smack them with axe and they fall down. I don't understand why you need anything else. It's not like we were even under threat, really. Yeah, so we're intended to use the bomb to destroy this whole place. We assembled the C4 bomb. Even with the explosives, there's probably not enough to bring down the city. There must be a way of making it more powerful, increasing its damage potential. Gee, I wonder what they mean with that. We're gonna need a bit more magic. I'm assuming we don't need a full-scale enchantment on this. It'll probably just accept it if it's enchanted at all. Nope, it needs a full-size enchantment. Okay. 2 laps, Mike. Also, you'll notice that this place was blocked off with those stones before. You couldn't do a full circle when we were here as Bianchi. But now we apparently can go full loops around this place, so that's interesting. So we'll make it a full power Chaturga bomb. That will presumably bring down the house. There we go. Mike has activated the bomb's timer. The countdown has begun. Almost in answer, a deep, low rumbling begins to reverberate through the dungeon. Mike has 3 minutes to escape the Forbidden City and get to safety.
3 minutes until detonation.
Gotta go right now. Gotta go. And knowing that there was gonna be this timer is why I activated a full charge shield before we set up the bomb. I was also betting it was gonna spawn a bunch of nasty crap that we're gonna have to get past. Oh, and that's why that section loops. That makes sense now. This is not the door I need. No, it is the door I need. Fuck me. I think they block off all paths you don't need to help you. Because otherwise you could easily take a wrong turn and be screwed. This is probably a sanity effect happening. There we go.
Ah, sweet Alex. Many centuries I've waited for you. You are mine. Don't disappoint me now. I've waited such a long time, Alex.
Never! I know what you are. I've seen what happened.
Yep, there it is.
You can try to fight me, but in the end you shall succumb to my desires. My foolish child. You don't
even know your own destiny.
Get away from me!
You could tell by the way he was talking that there was something off with that the whole way.
2 minutes until detonation.
Oh, it's purple in here now. Interesting. Well, it's all gonna blow up anyway. I think we're almost out. Yep, there we go. Wow, I don't think getting out of there was enough on that one. That was a hell of a boom. A few years later. Huh.
Thanks for coming. I didn't think you'd show.
Look, I have no idea who you...
I think you do. Just as much as I know you know. Now let's be quick. The Guardians know where I am, and I won't last the night. But that's not the point.
What's this?
Something you need. Don't open it here. Only in privacy. They can sense it if it's not shrouded.
Is it one of the artifacts?
You must leave now. Look, there's something I have to do before they get to me. I can't protect you if they find us. Good luck.
More cliche set of lines you're never gonna hear, probably. But that puts the last artifact in play. Where it needs to be. The Rivas family now has all of them. Antarok, Jaturga, and Ulyaoth. We don't have the artifact of Xel'lotath because, of course, Pius Augustus has the artifact of Xel'lotath. Now we finally can do our own light puzzle with our crank and bring an end to this whole situation. But why do I have this sneaking suspicion that a lot of this is going to culminate in doing exactly what they wanted in the first place? Like, this all might just be one big long con. And we're gonna have to do something here at the end to turn that against them. I just have that sneaking suspicion that that's how that's gonna play out. And that might be why some minions of Mantarok have been opposing us the whole way. Because they know better than we do. Definitely gonna need to start running around with a shield up, that's for sure. Considering everything's out to kill us now. Now I have to assume that the artifact of Ulyaoth is presumably behind this puzzle. Oh, now we rotate that one presumably to hit this globe on the Here There Be Dragons sign. Yep, there we go. And that opens the portal to the remains of the necropolis. The city of Enga. What's left of it, anyway. Now, we did not see Edward Roivas hide the last artifact. So what did he do with it? I don't know if we're meant to go down there first. Interesting. We got a delivery. Is that what we're looking for? This is highly suspicious. We got the Enchanted Gladius and the artifact. But the question becomes, if we had already received the artifact from Mike, why the hell was it being delivered here now? Was it sent somewhere else to protect it and intended to come back at the appointed time? Also, take note the fact that we can wield the Enchanted Gladius. That thus implies that Alex here is the Guardian of Light. Which, I just kind of made an assumption on that score to try to equip it, because of the fact that, you know, she's the last one left. We don't have other characters left to go, as far as we can tell. And she's also been the main thread between everything here. The last member of the Roivus line. And the Roivuses have been the continuous thorn in Zelatoth's side. So that logical tracked, at least to me, so I just ran with that. With the lid removed, some kind of well-like entranceway is revealed. A ladder leads down into the murky darkness. Was this Edward's route into the Guardian City? Sure, climb down the ladder. What could possibly go wrong? Yep. Ladderway sealed. As the tome had suggested it by Edward's and Maximilian's words, the city exists. It's far more incredible than Alex had thought. Here are the ruins of Enga, the corpse city, parasitized by the guardians of Zelatoth. 9 great towers dwarf the surrounding buildings. It would appear these towers serve as a kind of focusing array, channeling great tides of energy into the city itself. Now here's the thing, though. As Edward Roivus, we blew this up. We sent a giant tide of magic energy through this place. That said, you'll notice it's not as well lit as it was before. It's now dark instead of silvery gray. So I guess we knocked out a ton of stuff in here but didn't destroy it? So that's a bit disappointing. Then again, it was a Dispel Magic blast, so I guess it only knocked out the magic of the place, not the structure. Oh, that doesn't look great. This whole place is now a fucking damage field. That hardly seems like cricket. It's a good thing we got a shield on, I guess. Ow. 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 This is annoying. Please stop. Oh, there's a fucking barrier over here, too. You bastards. I'm gonna cast a fresh shield before I go to cast the Dispel. Our shield's not gonna last. There we go. That's a full-size one, too, so we're gonna have to go all in. Or it's gonna not cast it because game is dumb. Yeah, and that's what I was afraid of. We're now gonna start taking damage. Let's go over here where there's not damage floor for a second. That's really annoying. We probably need to cast the Dispel from over here and it'll count. Yep, there we go. I keep assuming you have to be close to the things you're dispelling, which is incorrect. Though it really would be nice if, you know, the game didn't make this whole section goddamn damage floor. 'Cause that's just annoying. Let's go ahead and give ourselves the magic buff. Not what I meant to do. Hard to steer tight circles when sprinting, though. We're gonna heal, and then we'll put the shield back up, and we're gonna get in there. She has a lot of magic power, though, I gotta say. Which I guess makes sense. And it might be that we're being enhanced by the Enchanted Gladius a bit, too. I can't tell. It seems like our spells are cheaper while we're holding this thing. Either that or she just has that much magic compared to the other ones that she can throw around the maxed out spells more. Which does make sense, she's been throwing them around a lot. Podium is heavily damaged, crumbling into rubble and dust. If it's to be used, it must be somehow restored to its former state. Huh, that's a problem. The array is dead. Okay, well, there's a piece of pedestal there. Presumably, yep, there's another piece of the pedestal right there. I assume I repair the pedestal pieces in the same way we usually do. And then I guess we'll stick this back on top. And then we put the artifacts in place. These plinths look like the ones Pius had encountered in the Forbidden City, where he had found the essences of the ancients. And of course, lacking the essence of Zelatoth, we need to use the essence of Mantarok instead. That has reactivated this system here. So I guess we're gonna have to do the same sequence. No? Looks like we... No, we are gonna have to do the same sequence we did with Edward, probably. Yep. Okay. So I'm gonna assume we do the same thing we did last time and use Chaturga of runes here to empower it against our enemy. And the fact that we're using her at the end here makes perfect sense because of the fact, well, on top of the simple fact that she's been the plot consistent character, she's had decent statistics the whole time. So it only made sense that she was going to be the key element to the end game here. Let's top off our shield before we run through that all. The question is, do we do Dispel Magic again? Or are we supposed to do a different spell this time? That's the part I'm unsure about. And I don't want to look yet. We'll give it a shot, and if it fails, I'll look so we don't have to try a dozen in one attempt to get anywhere. And that one's easy. That one's just Pargon. When you have no choices, things are a lot easier. Oh, this is all purple and lit up now. That's concerning. Big worm. Except all it was a spook. Why have we gone to Sepia? Why? We've gone back to... Yep, there we go. I had a feeling that was just a fake out. Oh, is it gonna do that every time? So we need to find a workaround for that. Okay. Or do we just leave? There's a barrier. We can't tell what color it is, but there's a barrier. I cast the wrong recover. So I just mashed through it, not paying attention to what I was doing. It seems like when you restore your sanity, it ends the vision. God fucking damn it. But maybe there's something I'm supposed to see in weird sepia mode. So it's not looking like it, because I think I would have seen it by now if there was. Why is my camera over here now? What am I supposed to see over your video game? Or is it just getting weirder now? It might just be getting weirder now. Let's just fix that. Yeah, as soon as our sanity's restored, we get put back over here. So, what is our workaround for this situation? Shield doesn't work. Magic pool wouldn't do anything. A magical attack, we don't have a target necessarily, because it's just in the hole. Do I send it a sacrifice? Let's try sending it a sacrifice. Let it attack something other than me. We've really never used Summon Zombie for anything practical. It just kind of existed. Nope, that still affects us when he does that. But it did stop the zombie in its tracks. Not Sepia Tone World us. But the worm still comes after us and does the Sepia Tone thing anyway. Okay. That didn't work. It's gotta have something to do with the fact that the floor is lit up purple. So... large-scale dispel? Nope. Okay. His damage field wouldn't do anything. Enchant item wouldn't make any sense. Reveal Invisible is the only other thing I can think of that would do anything here, unless we're supposed to send a Trapper or a Horror in there. Which, both of those ideas don't make a lot of sense either. that doesn't really, like, show us anything. And of course, the zombie I summoned now wants to come kick my ass. I mean, there's always the option of maybe I just need to go slow? Maybe it's like a sneaking section? That seems to be the answer, because I haven't triggered the worm yet. Yep, that was the key. Okay. We just had to sneak past old Wormy. Argon. I wonder how many more mechanics like that we're gonna have to deal with before we're done here. Okay, we got a purple door barrier. Oh, we're gonna have to do all 3 summons here. Let's save the Trapper for last, because that one's the one most likely to cause me a problem. I don't need to be anywhere near where I'm sending these things either. So let's stand back here at the beginning. Actually, no. Smarter idea. Smarter idea. Where's the exit? We will go stand next to the exit while we set all of our little friends up. And then as soon as they're all set up, we get the fuck out. So let's start by summoning a horror. Oh, No. I've already fucked up. Because if you look, you'll notice there's a specific color to the panels as well. I almost screwed up, because if I put a red horror on that green platform, it probably would reject it, and I'd have to kill the horror I summoned. So let's not do that, shall we? Let's not make this harder than it needs to be. The other option being I was correct in summoning a red horror, and then I'm supposed to summon the opposition of the color there, but I'm betting it's simpler than I'm going to try to make it, so I'm just going to do it the smart way and try it as described first. And we're just gonna hope that they lock these in somehow when they get where they're going. Yep. Ah, okay. It puts them back where they came out of before. Okay. And the Mantarok barrier is a combination of all of them. Okay. That all makes sense. That all tracks. Let's see if we can get, like, a low-level magic pool for magic. Speed our regen up. It doesn't look like the level of the magic pool affects the regeneration speed. I'm assuming it's duration, in terms of how powerful the pool is. So I can definitely make a hefty magic profit just summoning a weak magic pool. Able to restore myself quickly. Okay, meat boy. Go stand on the pedestal over there for me. For safety, let's have him go the other way around in case he gets mad at me if I step on the trapper platform with a zombie. So I just had that sneaking suspicion the game's gonna be a bastard like that and go, you put the wrong thing on this pedestal. Yeah, because I was trying to cross it. Nope, fuck you. Set off trap now. Haha. So, judging from the fact that we're having to do full-on puzzles and everything for each of these rooms, this is probably going to be as long as a regular chapter, if not longer. Considering I assume we have a final battle at the end of this. Skitter, 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 skitter. No more barrier. Top off our shield so it takes the... Okay, fine. We're close to the exit anyway, it's probably fine. I was trying to hedge my bets. But the game is like, no, you're being an idiot, stop. Just go. I feel like we had placed an actual rune by now when we were doing it in this order before. So maybe it'll just be piles of power this time? Or it'll be an actual rune on this one. Yep, there we go. Well, last time it was Dispel Magic. So let's just do the same thing again, like I said before. See if that works. It's just a room full of trappers so far. There we go. In the streets of the damned, blood flows along channels gouged in stone. For an unfathomable purpose to nourish the city's parasitic denizens, or to be used to fuel Zelatoth's dark magic. I mean, to be fair, the magic of all of the ancients is dark magic, so it really... You don't need to be that specific on that one. They're all into some wicked stuff. Okay. Presumably I need to use Reveal Invisible here. I've learned... Yep. Especially since we already knew there was floor there from before. So it was very suspicious that there suddenly wasn't floor there. She definitely restores magic fast. Since we'll be doing a bunch of walking for no real benefit at the moment. Once the other spell takes its sweet time of getting out of the goddamn way. This way we make sure our magic's full by the time we get somewhere useful. Sorted out. Yeah, since the rune's actually showing, I'm assuming we're correct because it didn't show when it was wrong last time. Oh, there's trappers here and I wasn't paying attention. Let's see if I can get this off fast enough. Yep. Gotta be quick on the draw, boys. Argon. Yeah, this is just the room we literally just passed through, except without the invisible floor. Presumably because we revealed it already. I think this is going to be the 4th game I've beaten this month. And we're barely halfway through this month. We are on a roll right now. Which is a nice change after that brief slump we had around the time when I was trying things like Prenny, Can I Really Be the Hero, and all that, which we could not beat. At least not in any practical respect. Okay, why are we being... Oh. Invisible trappers! Hooray! Can the spell still hit them while they're invisible? Nope, sure can't. Okay. We have to reveal invisible fast. So as long as we don't move, I don't think they're a problem. So we should be able to take them out. There were a lot of trappers in here. Like, a lot. Considering I think a good, like, 6 or 7 forks went out of that spell to kill things. At a minimum. Okay, so now we're back in here. But now is not the time to get tired. You are on damage floor, lady. Let's go ahead and save at this point, because we've done a lot of this. And we had last saved as Mike. So it would have been really bad if I forgot to save at this point. Because we then would have had to do all of this again. No one can say I haven't learned from my mistakes. They can certainly say I've been slow about it, though. They can certainly say that. Argon. On the bright side, this is going faster than it did as Edward. Because Alex can run further. Oh. Are we gonna have to summon a bunch of horrors in order to break a bunch of blocks? Yep, sure are. Joyous day. So we're gonna have to summon a horror, kill it. Summon a horror, kill it. Summon a horror, etc. Start with the red one, because it'll break the green one. I'm assuming one horror isn't going to be able to break all 3 of these. So it would be really nice if he could break all of them. Wouldn't it be a hell of a thing if I could just... Oh, it's gonna summon its own horror. Oh, wow. Just took him out in one go, huh? Interesting. Okay. Do I need to hit them with an aligned attack instead of a misaligned attack? Or am I about to make my situation really bad? I might be about to make my situation really bad. I am going to check this one because I get the distinct feeling this is going to be a huge pain in the ass if I don't. Okay, yeah, I'm barking up the wrong tree entirely for dealing with this problem. So I have just made my life a living hell for no good reason. We also have a problem, though. They're mentioning purple. We did not find the rune to cast purple. So I might have missed the rune of Mantarok somewhere. Yeah, we were supposed to have found the alignment room for Mantarok already, so we are at a disadvantage here. I somehow missed the Mantarok rune somewhere. And I'm betting I know where I missed it, and that's the frustrating thing. Because how much you want to bet that thing that was in the hole I didn't send a trapper into is where the Rune of Mantarok was. So hopefully it's not required to use that rune at any point, or we might be in trouble. I'm just double checking for sake of argument to make sure that I was correct about where it was. Yep. That's exactly where it was. That's unfortunate. That's very unfortunate. Considering the guide tells me to use a level of maxed out purple magic attack to get rid of all these rune stones. Needless to say, we can't do that. Because we don't have the rune for purple alignment. So we've got 2 red horrors and a green one just kind of kicking around the room right now. Because I've done fucked up. So I'm gonna try throwing a dominant attack and crossing my fingers. Apparently that's enough to short out the barrier, so you know what? Good enough for me. Let's get the fuck out of here. So that's an upsetting revelation to have, though, the fact that we are missing the last alignment rune, so we can't do purple spells. And how much you want to bet purple spells probably would have healed multiple things instead of a single thing. So we might have a devil of a time going into the end, since we are essentially weaker for not having that, I would assume. And I've been kicking myself this whole time for not going back and grabbing that thing that was in the hole. But I figured it wasn't going to be anything required. Which, I guess technically the Rune of Mantarok isn't required. But god damn it. That's still upsetting. Also, I'm just gonna spoil something else. We were doing the wrong spell. I'm gonna have to go back and fix the other spell. Because I had a feeling I was barking up the wrong tree with trying to dispel a second time for multiple reasons. But the final key of logic being, if we're trying to deal with this problem and defeat Xel'lotath directly, would it not make sense to summon Xel'lotath to this plane before they're ready, so as to fight a weakened Xel'lotath? I didn't need to go this way, and there's a fucking trapper there. Great. Oh, and there's a bear. Oh, I understand why we need to go up here now. We need to dispel the barrier. But we're gonna end up in the trapper dimension, and I'm gonna be upset. Yep, there we go. We. God damn it. Well, are we missing any meters, really? No, not really. Oh no, a few seconds of lost time. What the hell? There's a cabinet here. Oh, right, the thing we teleported. That's why there's the dead guy in here too. Those are the two things we teleported away using trappers to get them out of our way. Right, that makes perfect sense. God damn it. I hadn't even considered that until I saw the block there now too. It's a hell of a thing. Get a full charge shield back up again. Now on the bright side, well, a logical bright side. I don't know if it's a real bright side because I don't have the answer to this question. But I'm assuming we won't have to do the puzzles again in order to go back through the rooms. Just like we didn't have to deal with the problems of those rooms the second time before. So let's quickly go back and fix my mistake, which is thankfully the only mistake I made. At least that I'm aware of. Because I didn't intend to read the spell solution, but I had to read through a lot of it in order to find what I was looking for. So I ended up seeing that, trying to find the answer I needed. So now we're back in here again for a moment. We run back out of this room. And then we go do the last room. I'm going to save again, and then we're going to let the spell activate. Because I would hazard a guess that that's going to be the finale, or at the very least, that's going to be something key to the finale. And I could save now before I activate this, just in case there's a problem. And I guess I will, and then I'll just save again if it doesn't drop us directly in. And once we solve the last puzzle. Just as a bed hedge, so we don't have to do any other puzzle solving repeatedly. But there we go, there's the last Pargon rune. And everything lights up, just as before. Okay, there's a bunch of horrors inside a box. But I don't see any closed doors or anything, so I don't rightly know why that's there. It's there because we have to go through it, which means we need to take control of one of those horrors and make them fight each other again. Now, at the very least, we need to take control of a horror and make them fight each other. Okay. Okay, that one lost fast. Guess now we do it again. Yeah, because now, with one victor, we are allowed to leave. And he is allowed to have his victory, I don't care. Okay, now we've got a different damage floor situation here. Oh, this is the other side of the damage floor room we just went through, actually. So we'll refresh our shield and then zip on through here. God damn it. Of course, we're in a narrow band of loading space here. So we'll enhance our magic generation so this doesn't take too long. Which I guess I could just start running across and recast the shield partway across. Because as long as the shield's still active, we won't be stopped. I also didn't need more shield than that to get across here anyway. Well, we will need to refresh it to get through this, though. And just in case it cutscenes us when we go through into that room, we'll save here. How's my meters? They're okay. If that much is what leads to us losing, this fight's gonna be a big pain in the ass. Which I'm assuming this fight's gonna be a big pain in the ass, to be fair. Okay, no, we're allowed to get here without something happening. So we'll go ahead and save right in front of this portal then. And just on the odd chance it does something wild, like you lose and the save gets undone or something when you lose the final fight, like there have been 1 or 2 games that have done, I'm going to put down a save state as well, so we don't have to redo anything. Now, I don't think that's actually going to happen. I don't think that's really going to be the case. But just, you know, bet hedging. Because I'm very concerned about what's going to happen. Top off our shield. Basically, it's like a fuckery barrier. Magic back before we go through. I'm assuming that when we go through this, bad shit's gonna happen. Whether it's another escape sequence or if it's fighting something serious after we push this button. Something big's gonna happen here. And that right there is as big a hint as I needed. The fact that it's like, hey, you should save. That tells me everything I fucking needed to know. Looks like it took away our enchantments.
Ah, Miss Roivas, you're just in time. The summoning spell I began 2,000 years ago is finally complete. You will now have the honor of becoming the first morsel for my Lady Zelatoth. An appetizer for the banquet your race shall provide.
You forget what it means to be human, Pious. The human race will never go quietly into the darkness. For as long as you have spent summoning your lord, people have struggled against you. Now, thanks to their efforts, I have 3 of the Ancient's essences. Now, Pious, this is the end!
The end indeed.
Has it ever occurred to you, Pius, that you might be the first morsel? There's Zelatoth in our world. At least in space, above our world. Here comes Chaturga. I presume since we have all the essences, they're all gonna come through. No, I guess Chaturga shows up because he's the opposition. Oh, there we go, I do stall my shield. Just as Pius has a Zelatoth shield. If he's gonna have a shield, maybe I should just shoot it off. Nah, probably fine. Can't hurt his shield. Destroy the artifact of Zelatoth, though, and presumably his shield. Ow, it moved. Come on now. Our sanity's gone, which is a problem. At that moment, I realized my shield was gone. Wait, he's casting something. Now is the time to cast my own. Oh, it was an attack spell. Son of a bitch. Let's try just for a low one to get it in fast enough. Just so we're not at 0 sanity trying to fight this guy. So where the hell did the artifact go now? Because we saw a flash of a room, but that room's not here. Ah, okay, we have to try to hit him and then it'll reveal the artifact. Ah, okay. Everybody's getting a turn. Nah, I'm faster than you. Stupid old skeleton. Ow. Okay, now we're Anthony. Anthony, please. Thank you. Encourage him to cast something. Ideally. Well, he swung, which might be good enough. I want to get a new shield. Buy myself some time if he does get close again. Oh, he's dispelling. Okay, that's fine. By the time he finishes doing that, I'll have cast my heal. It's me. You know what? How do you like to taste your own medicine? He didn't care about that at all. He's got a really wide attack radius with that staff, which is not a surprise. It's a staff. Ink. Okay, now we're Kareem. Zelatoth and Chaturga are fighting in space. Chaturga is currently winning. Or, at the very least, it's currently a draw. Yeah, he was casting a pretty nasty one there, so I had to keep moving. Let's get a magic pool in play of Sanity. It won't last particularly long, but it'll keep my Sanity up instead of it constantly dropping. As is how he wants this fight to go. Alright, Max. Do your job. All of history's against you, Pius. You can't win. He's taking the time to cast a spell, so he's gonna waste his time. If he just walked up and hit me, he easily could have disrupted me casting that. Alright, old man John. Do your part. The reason why I'm trying to push myself back to full strength is I suspect that this isn't gonna be the whole fight. I have a sneaking suspicion there's gonna be more to it than this. Because if it's just defeating Pius, that's too easy. Pius is a joke. We're just running around poking him, poking his artifact, and running away. And there goes the artifact of Zelatoth. Which I assume is going to give Chaturga an edge up here. Yeah, when you have 3 targets, just hit all of them. Yep, he doesn't have a shield anymore. Except he just put it back on, but that lowered his shield enough for us to get a hit. That said, he taught me a neat trick. And he's about to do the same thing I'm gonna do. As you see, dispelling him also means he doesn't have his shield, just like he took away my shield. Made him warp away from his defensive barrier before he could finish putting it up. As long as we hit first, we win. In each of these exchanges, because he's gonna keep warping away like a coward. Because he's forgotten how to be a fighter in addition to forgetting how to be a human being. He thinks like a caster now. Running like a bitch when he's threatened. Allowing himself to just continue to be pressured. How's our sanity going? Not great. Okay. While he's teleporting, let's take a moment to fix that. Since he seems to be teleporting further and further away most of the time, he's giving us the advantage. Now he's inside his barrier enough to be protected now. Not sure what the hell he's casting this time, but I don't like it. If we can't reach him, we can still blast him. We both had the same damn idea. I should have known when based on the runes he was throwing. He can run. Quick heal. We are tired though, but you'll notice he's hobbling now, so he's getting tired too. This fight's not been going in his favor at all. What's our shield doing? Our shield is gone, okay. Put up a low barrier for the moment. He doesn't get many hits in, so we don't need a big barrier. And that's Pius done. Your game is over, Pius. Looks like Chaturga won. Betting that's not the end of it, though.
The darkness is not so easily destroyed. No, my death is just the beginning.
I'm gonna put money on it being a bad call to kill him with his own staff there. How much you want to bet his death's the catalyst to making Xel'lotath stronger? Especially using his own staff as a catalyst.
What have I done?
Oh yeah, that's the other thing. We did just release the other one into our world instead. That's a bit of a problem too.
Quickly, Alex! We must find this creature! It cannot be allowed to remain in this universe!
Fuck. Bind. That is protect creature, isn't it? Just so we don't have to do this again, I'm just going to get the answer. So we've done all the work. Yeah.
Ah, that's the ticket.
I don't know what would happen if we did it wrong. And while I'm curious, I don't want to have to redo the whole fight. Just to solve that curiosity. Back from whence you came, Chaturga. Thank you for your help.
It is finally over, my dear. The Ancients' plans are finished. For now, at least. You have proved to be an incredibly courageous young woman. Your mother and father would have been proud of you, just as I am. I'm sorry it had to be like this. It's not quite the inheritance I had in mind for you, but there was so little time, and so much to do. Goodbye, Alex. I will miss you.
And there's the book, still
As
here.
I gazed up at the ancient I had brought into this world to stop Pius, my mistake was made clear. This ancient could lay the world to ruin just as easily as Pius's would have. And yet, as quickly as it began, it ended. To think that once I could not see beyond the veil of reality, to see those who dwell behind. I was once a fool.
You've overcome the darkness that has prevailed for over 2 millennia. This accomplishment will begin a new era for humanity. Now, would you like to record this grand occasion in the pages of human history? Yeah, sure. Why not? Save the clear data. That should be credits rolling, I would assume. Yep. So, there we go. Another game done. Eternal Darkness was not nearly as hard as I expected it to be. That was honestly pretty easy. I mean, we were well prepared. And even without the Rune of Mantarok, we still tore Pius apart. His fight was honestly a joke, as I was saying during the fight. That was kind of just embarrassing. Since it was literally just kite him around and poke him. Poke him, poke the artifact. Poke him, poke the artifact. Game's over. Did they really think that was a serious fight? I mean, I guess they did, but... And of course we weren't gonna fight Xalatoth herself. That would have been way too much to ask of a human being. So I'm glad they didn't do that, because that would have just been weird. As it stands, fighting whatever undead thing Pius turned into felt a little bit like a stretch. But, by the same token, with how easy that fight was, that was kind of disappointing. And like I said before, I do have to point out that there's a couple loose ends to this, though. Specifically, Xalatoth brought up treachery that Pius was trying to do, and we never really saw anything come of that. Unless maybe that's why that fight was as easy as it was, is maybe he wasn't really trying? Because, you know, he never really necessarily tried. You know, he never wanted to be the High Priest of Xalatoth, if you think about it, considering he just touched an artifact and became fucking super... or Skeleton Man. I'm a little disappointed we didn't get as many sanity effects as I expected, but I also understand completely how we didn't, because I was being super careful the whole time. Because of all the deaths we had, just naturally, I did not want to force more deaths just to learn about more of the sanity effects. Those are always easily looked up anyway, so that's not too big an issue. And I'm glad I didn't try to push to finish this yesterday. Just because of the length of that final puzzle. Which, even then, wasn't that bad to get through, considering most of the puzzle solutions were really easy. The only thing that caught us for a bit was the statue puzzle, just because I went on an erroneous assumption, thinking I had to do the same thing we did with the exact same model before. But that's Eternal Darkness done. And this stream's only been 2.5 hours, but I feel like crap because I didn't sleep worth a damn. And honestly, it's probably a good cut point anyway to end at the end of the game. I might come back and do a second stream today later if I start to feel better. But at the very least, I'm going to end for today. I mean, for now, rather. With the end of this game. If for nothing else but to save myself some headaches in terms of editing, so I don't have to, like, splice things together or cut things out in order to have things make sense on YouTube later. And could I have let more things go wrong to make this session go longer? Sure. I easily could have. But, there comes a point where it's not worth dragging it out, if that makes sense. And there's not a whole lot going on Twitch right now relative to my lists. And I doubt anybody is suddenly playing this today when they haven't the last 3 days. Suddenly playing this. Sheesh. No, there's a couple people, but Nah, I'm just gonna wrap up right here, right now. Thank you to those who came along for this little short hop to the end of the game. This will, of course, be a VOD, and it will be on YouTube and all of that. The whole series will be a playlist on YouTube, so it's nice and easy to roll straight through to see what anybody missed and any of that. Tomorrow, back to Echoes, we will probably finish the game between those two streams, unless it ends up having any significant hang-ups. And of course, assuming I don't do a significantly shorter stream because of tired or something. Okay. I wanted to see if any other scenes showed up, but no, it doesn't look like it does. It just cycles back to the Nintendo sign. Okay. So, I'm gonna get out of here then. Have a good one, everybody. And I will see you all either later today or tomorrow.